Right. So while doing my research, I came across this interesting design that utilizes natural ventilation to achieve cooling. Uh, so here's a simple CAD model that I made to illustrate this phenomena. So consider this as a space, all right, a living space. These are vents that are opened and closed at a particular interval. Now, what we plan to do is we achieve cooling. Uh, sorry, we achieve cooling in the form of night cooling. So, what is night cooling? It's used in places where there are substantial temperature differences during the day and night. This temperature difference, if I explain to you in simple words, is used to freeze a material during the night, and during the day it melts. And that, when it melts, absorbs the heat from the living space. For example, think of freezing water. Say, for example, you freeze water at night, and during the day, as it melts, it absorbs the heat from the space. So this phenomena is incorporated into this design in order to make a simple and efficient cooling system. So during the night, what happens is these vents, fenestrations are opened to allow the cold night wind to enter the space. These containers, as you can see here, contain what is known as a phase change material. A phase change material is something that uh, has certain properties that we will be using. I'll get into those later. So once these phase change materials uh, get hold of this night wind, they freeze. They freeze at night, and during the day, again, due to the warm temperature outside, they melt, and in the process, they absorb the heat from this space, this inside room. These are basically copper coils that facilitate the heat transfer process. And here is a propeller fan. So this fan basically ensures forced convection happens, and that basically makes the process more efficient. So let's get into a little bit about what a phase change material is, or what are its properties that make them so advantageous. One, they have a large heat of fusion. So basically, it takes a lot of heat to basically melt a small amount of phase change material, or on the other hand, it takes a lot of it absorbs a lot of heat to melt, and it takes a lot of heat to array by sorry yeah.
So basically, the same material will be used in ideas where we want to cool our electric battery cells also. So there are systems where we use phase change materials for cooling our electric battery cells, and other methods which are there, like we use water, or we use ethanol glycol or some other liquids which will flow around my electric battery cells. So the phase change material has a very high latent heat of fusion, and that very high latent heat of fusion is going to result into a very large amount of energy transfer, energy absorption, or energy release when it is going to change the phase from solid to liquid. Or if there are multiple phases of solid, that alpha phase, beta phase, as we know for phosphorus, then as it changes phase from alpha of phosphorus to beta of phosphorus, it is going to have a large amount of energy release or absorption. And that energy release and absorption idea is what we are going to use over here. So that's what my friend Ritvik will explain.
Right. So that phenomena is exactly what is used here. A few other properties that are desirable for us are that it has to be compact, right? So a small quantity of phase change material should be enough to absorb a large amount of heat. That's an added advantage. Apart from that, it has to have good thermal conductivity so that heat transfer process is made easier. So an example of this phase change material is what is known as Glauber salt. Uh, it's mixed with certain additives known as freeze point depressants. So freezing temperature comes down to around 21 degrees. So that's around room temperature, little less than room temperature. So that at night, this material can be frozen, and then during the day, it can melt to release the heat. So this this is a very simplified explanation of this whole model. Why is this advantageous? See, for one, it's a very easy to install setup, right? Say, for example, you've already constructed a house and you just want to incorporate it. You can very easily, this whole unit that you see here, starting from here and everything upwards. Let me just show you. Right, from this. So this is how this whole system looks. So we can very conveniently install and uninstall this unit. Think of the other forms of natural ventilation or maybe natural cooling techniques. One, for example, was to introduce very thick concrete walls so that the heat that enters the room can be delayed by a large amount of time, and by that we can achieve heat at the right time. That's at night when it's required. But that such a process is difficult because a building is already constructed and you cannot add concrete layers just as easily. So this system is a novel idea and it is readily installable and replaceable. So that's one of the biggest advantages it has. Apart from that, with very small mechanical energy consumption, that is in rotating this fan, we can achieve large amounts of heat transfer, and this is a long-lasting process. It can be achieved every day with minimum maintenance. So that's it I wanted to share. Jan, if you have anything else.
So there are some limitations because the novel idea which is been described here is based on natural ventilation system, and it will only take care of the temperature fluctuations and not the humidity fluctuation. So over there we cannot claim that it will also maintain the humidity which our refrigerator or air conditioners do in our rooms. But for the areas which are having high fluctuations of temperature, such as desert or the areas in general which are farther from my coastal regions, they will have a very low temperature, relatively low temperature at night and very high temperature during the day. So in those areas when the temperature difference are very high, we can make our compound, the phase change material, accordingly as per our temperature requirements, and as per the design I can absorb and release heat as per my location of my home. But if my homes or my area of location of interest is very close to coastal regions where there are less temperature fluctuations, such as in Bombay or in Goa, in Chennai, and then the temperature during the night is not going to have a very low temperature with respect to daytime, and in that case this type of systems will not be that much efficient in cooling the room during the day. But if there are enough temperature fluctuations, that is at least 12 degrees, then we can easily incorporate such designs, and this can be very helpful in cooling our homes during the daytime. And that's all I need to add. This exact novel idea is not completely novel from our side. We have just read a research paper which will be mentioned in our comment, and from there a partial idea was being taken, and the graphical representation was made by my friend Ritvik. So thank you Ritvik.
Thank you.